Today, I want to talk to you about mental health. It's a topic that's very passionate to me because I have been diagnosed with mental illness and it's been a struggle since I have been diagnosed. There's a struggle leading up to the diagnosis and it's been a struggle since I've been diagnosed. And there's a lot of people that I think could resonate with some of my experiences and some of my advice. Hi, I'm Harjeet and this is Heartbeat with Harjeet. I had recently done an interview with Nadira Nazir of Healthy Hearts and Healthy Minds, which was aired on Kojiko. And she had asked me what my top 3 tips were to help somebody with mental health. And at the time, I was not prepared for that question. But since then, I have really thought about it and thought to myself, if somebody's struggling with mental health asked me that question, what would I tell them? Knowing my technique, I came up with an acronym, which actually works for me. And I hope it works for you too. So the acronym is the word THEN, THEN. Then, when you are struggling with a mental illness, it's mostly because you are thinking of what happened then. You are living mostly in the past, which was then, and not focused on the now, the present moment, because all of your experiences leading up to the present moment have impacted you in such a way that you are not able to be in the now. You are so hurt, traumatized, struggling with some grief, some emotional pain that has been unresolved since the past, since then, which is why I have chosen to use the word then. I want to start with the letter T, meaning trust. Trust is really important when you are struggling with mental health. I personally had a hard time trusting people. My experiences, it's not that people have not been trustworthy, but because of people that have betrayed me or not proven to be trustworthy enough, it's changed my whole outlook on trust. So even though I have a circle of friends that I trust with anything, there is a whole myriad of people that I have met that have burnt me and have made it difficult for me to trust them. If I say something, my words have been twisted and used against me, causing me to be a bit more guarded with who I share information with. Although I like to be vulnerable with everybody because that's about me being my true self, I've learned that I have to be more guarded because I don't trust people as much as I used to. And what I've learned from that is that you can't stop trusting people. You have to continue to trust in the good. When you think of the world as having billions of people in it, and you're one of those people, if you are a trustworthy individual, you've got to imagine that there has got to be at least 1 million people like you. If there's billions of people in the world, so you can't lose hope. You're not struggling with mental illness alone. You're not going through anything in life alone. And you're definitely not the only person that you can trust in the world. So you have to remember every person you meet is a new person. You look at a new person and you struggle to trust them because they have some similarities, some traits that remind you of somebody else. It's okay to remain a little bit guarded, but try not to let your past experiences jade an experience with a new person, a person that you've never met, a person that you don't know how they will respond to you. You don't know how they'll react. You don't know this person at all. You're just guessing their demeanor based on your past experiences. And if you look at every individual that you meet as a new individual and also yourself, you are growing as well. So you will present information in a different manner. Your techniques have changed over time. You've grown, you've evolved. And if you just look through one lens when you meet new people and you just remember your experiences and you're living in the then, your level of trust is going to be very low. And in order to get through mental health, you really do have to trust people. There's psychiatrists that are going to be involved in your diagnosis, mental health nurses. You're going to meet patients if you're in a ward. You've got to trust your family, your friends. You need to have a circle of people that you can trust, as well as not letting your experiences jade you when you meet new people. Moving on to hate, which is about having hobbies. Hobbies are really important, and a lot of people don't know what hobbies are, or they don't have hobbies, and their hobbies would include maybe watching TV, going out with their friends. Some people, they will actually just look at you with a dead stare and say, hobbies, what are those? They can't even think for a second what they enjoy because life has been about just getting through it, working, making money, paying bills. It's just all about tasks and tasks. And tasks aren't a hobby for anybody. It's important that you do have a hobby. And there are many hobbies that you can take on. Learning a new language, reading, watching TV, gardening, dancing, sewing, cooking. That's just a few. hobbies. And I not want to talk because it did take me a while to open myself up to hobbies. I have in the past not known really what my hobbies were. I enjoyed writing, but I never really pursued it. And I was focused on just being a mother. And being a mother, I was very passionate about it. But without having a hobby, it was also draining because once the kids were asleep, I had nothing to look forward to except for going to sleep. Having hobbies that circle around just yourself, they can involve other people, but it's really also important to have hobbies that focus just on you and center just solely on you, your joys, and nobody else can take away from that. I find when you do have certain hobbies that don't involve anybody else, you have something to look forward to. And looking forward to something is so important when you're struggling with mental health. And I just have to mention that I think that the flies absolutely love me because they just don't leave me alone. The fly's hobby is to just not leave me alone. Let's move on to E. E is emotional stability. So we have to think about our emotions and how stable we are in our emotions. There's going to be a moment where we are just drowning in our emotions. We feel overly angry, overly sad, overly paranoid, something overly, and it's not a good feeling. Or it could be overly excited if you've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which is about having hypomania as well as the depressive episodes. Whatever you're feeling, it's an overly feeling and you need to be grounded or you need support. If you have a circle of people that you can trust with your emotions that you can lean on in those moments, you have, say, a whiteboard and you just note things on your whiteboard, or you have a corkboard and you just stick on notes on there, and you have emergency notes in a moment of panic when you're feeling so distressed or you're feeling like you can't focus on one thing, look at the board and see where it takes you. If you have a list of people that you can turn to with your emotions, lean on them. If you don't have a list of people, say there's nobody in your family that you can lean on or you don't trust enough and you don't have any friends, you might have a therapist, or there would be even a 1-800 line that you could call in those real moments of darkness that you just feel like you have no one and you can turn to that 1-800 number. Make sure that you have it readily available to you. It's so important that your emotions are being taken care of because a big part of mental health that's not talked about is the emotional well-being. It's not about how you're thinking. It's not about your mental state alone. Your mental state is made up of so many things. It's made up of diet, exercise, and it's made up of many things, and one of them being your emotional well-being. So if you don't take care of your emotions, your mental state is going to fluctuate or is going to deteriorate. And you have to remind yourself that when your emotions are in a disarray, you feel you can't focus, you feel just overwhelmed, something's really bothering you, and you go to your corkboard or your whiteboard and you look at a list of people that you can call to trust with your emotions. Use them. You can call them. You can message them. One person doesn't answer, try the next person. Make sure that they know about this arrangement that you have with them ahead of time and make sure you use it. It'll be a lifesaver. Moving to the final letter of the acronym, then it's note taking. I talk about journaling and writing, and note taking, it's the same thing. It's so important to take notes of your feelings, keep a track. A diary, if you just go to the dollar store, you can grab a diary and a pen. It's not going to break the bank to just get a diary and a pen. Keep it somewhere handy, whether it's in your purse, your handbag, whether it's at a desk at home that you frequent, or your night table or drawer, under your pillow even. Make sure it's handy, it's in a place where you can access it. And I find that note taking is way different than putting things in your phone. You look at your phone for everything. It doesn't differentiate between note taking to keep your mental state and your emotional well-being in check. You'll get easily distracted if you use your phone. And the feeling of typing on your phone is not the same as when you're taking notes. When you're taking notes, the information is being processed. It goes through your brain, through your body, right out to your hand. So you can only really focus on the thought at hand. So when you're writing, you're feeling sad and you're writing about that, you're taking notes about your day, why you're feeling sad, or you're taking notes about the good parts of your day if you keep a gratitude journal. When you're taking notes with a pen and a paper, the information just flows very differently. I find also for me personally that typing works for note taking, But on my phone, it's not the same because there are so many distractions. You might get a message. You are able to have one ear out there and one eye over there while you're messaging on your phone. You have to keep going back to autocorrect. And it's just very frustrating to really concentrate on your emotions. I want to finish the video by thanking you for watching. And I really do hope that when you do think of your mental health, you'll think of the word then, and you'll think, then I am then, I'm not now. And then you can just write down then in that moment of need and hopefully overcome those really down periods, those periods of destruction when it comes to mental health. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video.